I told you, you need a website in 2026. Today, I'm gonna help you make this website. Alright, so the first step is to download VS Code. Whether you have Windows, Linux, or Mac, most of you will be having Windows or Mac, so you can download it from this link, which will be in the description below. Once you have VS Code installed, let's get right in. So once you have your VS Code installed in your folder made, you can go to File, Open Folder, and you can find the folder. So in this case, I've named the folder My First Site. So we have to select the folder and it'll open up. Yes, obviously we trust the authors because that's us. So first of all, we have to have a file which is a base plate of our site. So usually we call that index.html. So it depends if you're building with React or Next.js, etc. But today we're going to be building with HTML, which is the most basic web designer. We start every website with a tag. Every piece of code that you write in HTML is inside a tag, whether it be a self-closing tag or a tag which gets closed by another tag. So let's get right in. First, we have the tag doc type HTML. This is basic. This tells the browser that the site is HTML. The second tag that you add is called the HTML tag. So this is for the whole website. It's used in CSS later, and it also tells the site that the language is English. The next tag we have is the head tag. This is so that the website knows that this is the header, and inside the header nothing you write shows other than the title and other things, but these only show in the code. They're not displayed on the web page. Now the next tag is meta tag. So we have to add meta tag to tell the browser about the site. So in this case, this is our first tag. This tells the browser that tells the browser to use the character encoding called use the character encoding called UTF-8 to make sure that all of the characters display properly. Next, we have meta name viewport content. Obviously, this is there so that we can view the site on a phone and it will work properly. The next we have is title. So this is what happens. This is what shows on the top. For example, if we go to Google, here it says download Visual Studio Code because this is a title. They've set this as the title in the head section as well. So over here, if we open DevTools with F12, then over here we can open the head tag, and we can see this is there, and we can also see that the title, which is somewhere down here, you would have to find it, but title says download Visual Studio Code. This is the title that shows up here too. So the next thing that you add is, first of all, you have to close the head tag, then you add the body tag. This too will be used in CSS, so it's separated into sections. Body will show. First we can add a heading tag which is H1, H2, H3, etc. till H6. So let's say we want to put the heading, hi, welcome to my first web page. So now this typo. So this will show up on our web page. Let me just open up the web page here. Alright, so we have to open up the file, and over here we have this index.html. So we have to just double click that and this will show up. As you can see in the code, it's written, hi, welcome to my first web page, which is exactly what will show here. So you can use multiple heading tags like H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. H6 being the smallest, H1 being the biggest, in chronological order, of course. Then after that, we have paragraph, which for a paragraph tag, you just write P. Over here, we've written, this is my first web page. Since we have it opened here, we can double click this, and here it comes. This is my first web page. In that order, if we add H1 to H6, let me just do that quick. Alright, so as you can see, we've written all of these in different tags. Now if we go here, we can refresh it and it'll be smaller, smaller and smaller. H6 is smaller than a paragraph tag, but we can change that with CSS. In HTML, we can style words without using CSS. So we can make them bold or italic. So first, we want to make the word is italics. So we can just put that is in italics. And if we go to my web page, over here is should be in italics. If you can see, that is in italics. So let's just make it a bit better. So there is also strong tag. This is in bold, and we can put that bold in strong tags. As you can see, we've put bold and strong tags. So if we refresh, this is in bold. So like that, the EM tag is for italics and strong tag is for bold. Now let's get to lists. So there are two types of lists: ordered list, which are the ones with numbers, or unordered lists, which are the ones with bullet points. So first we'll start with unordered list. So inside a list, we have to put many tags, right? These are called LI tags, which means list item. So let's say we want to call it, let's say it's a grocery list. So we can write H2. Here is the grocery. Here's the grocery list, right? So inside we have a list. Inside that list, we can write for a grocery list, I think ordered list would be better. So we could use OL. So over here we can add, let's say milk. That's our first one, right? Then we can add another list tag, a list item tag, and inside that we want eggs, let's say. Then we want, let's say, chocolate, and then it can go on and on. So this is a basic code, and here if we just refresh this, it comes in a list. And let's say we just change this OL to UL. Then we have got it right here, and it's in bullet points. Like this, you can make lists of anything. For example, you could make a list of links. Let me just enter in my social details and let's check it out. As you can see, in order to make a button, we have to use the A tag. So A href https www.instagram.com/rehansing.in etc. So we just have to write A href equals to double quotes your link, and then inside the A tag whatever it is, same here. Now if we go to our index.html, refresh, here are the links. So we can click on it, and we can also click on this. And if you want, you can go to your VS Code and you can also write target equals to double quotes, blank, underscore blank, sorry. So our Instagram link will be on the same page. It'll take it to Instagram, and YouTube will open it on a new page, right? If you like to add an image like I do here, I have this image. I can drag it to here. It'll copy it here. So I have this image, right? So now I have to add a image tag. And then I have to write src. Then I have to write equals to double quotes. Since this is here, we can write wallpaperflare.com, all that. Then you can write alt, whatever it is. Over here I'm calling it background image. So let's say the image isn't available, it'll give this text. So now if we go to our Google or our site, if we refresh, it's all here. Can you believe that? And now let's say we want to restrict the size. We can go back here. Width, let's say 300 pixels, and then the height 500 pixels, right? Now we've done that, save. Now if we go back here, refresh, it's like this. So since it's landscape, we have to do it in the ratio 16:9. So if this is 16, we can put it 160, and then this can be 90. So Control S, refresh, is desktop, and we can make it bigger or smaller using this. Alright, so let's get into it. So this, I just made this code in let's say 5 minutes, right? I go to my web page, I refresh, it's here. This is meant to be an image of me, but since I'm faceless, right? So this is there, and let's say I want to resize the page. I can click on F12, I can click on this, and here we go, it's on phone. It's kind of like a phone, and we can resize it. We can click on my code, this target blank, so new page. These are my hobbies, all that. Right now I haven't sized it very well, but it just takes 15 minutes to size it. So I just made this for you, and just like that you could make your very first basic HTML site. Now get ready for the next couple of videos, because I'm going to be teaching you CSS and JavaScript, and those are way harder than HTML. All of the information is in the description, all of the links for VS Code, etc. You can also host on GitHub, but right now it's not being hosted. I will also make another video on CSS, JavaScript, and how to host it, so you can build your own bio page.